Falling Out off White Pepper. It was just another sort of sleeper song for me. Rediscovering it, I really liked it a lot more than when I first listened to White Pepper. It's a really nice, simple guitar part with a surprisingly great solo just kind of thrown in there, right? So let's just talk about the chords. So this is a pretty simple song. The strumming pattern is pretty simple. We're in F minor here, and you're going to be holding onto that F minor a lot during the song. So, sorry, F sharp minor. In the key of F sharp minor, main chord F sharp minor. So we start off with that. And that's the kind of rhythm you want to do, right? So boom, down, boom, ba-down, boom, down, boom, ba-down. You know, down, 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 up, down. You know, that's the sort of simplified version of it. I mean, that's it. It's just sort of trying to slow it down, right? That's basically you can just feel the strumming pattern mostly, but it's nothing too complicated. It's just that. Right? But F sharp minor, then B minor, F sharp minor, or this is the verse. Does that twice. Then we go to A major, or you can do it like that, either way, but A major, then back to F sharp minor, then B minor, F sharp, and then we do this kind of chromatic walk down thing just with the bass note. Alright, so that's just, so F sharp minor, and then first fret of the E to open E, and then you strum an E major chord. So, alright, and then back to F sharp minor, and then we get into the chorus, which starts off with A, F sharp minor, B minor, F sharp minor, then A major. Then he walks up with these chords. I mean, it's basically a power chord with a major third thrown in there, but it's start off like. Right. All right. So it's B major. I mean, he's basically just used power chords, but if you want to throw in the major third on these, I personally think it sounds more accurate, but it really doesn't matter that much. Sorry, so, right, just throw that in there, and then just throw it like dun, dun, right. Right. This is C sharp to E on the 7th fret of the A, then back down to C sharp, and then, all right. You can also do it like that. That's probably what they're actually doing on the recording, but I like to make it more like, you know, just to give it a little bit more of like that punk, the sort of rocking rhythm, right? So, it sounds a little bit more satisfying to me, but you know, just a little simpler. So that altogether is. And then back to F sharp minor, B minor, back, and then we do that same chromatic E thing we did earlier. And then the second, going into the second verse, he just holds that there, and just, you know, you just hold it for a bar, whatever that is, half a bar, whatever. And then the song just ends like that, where it just goes. Just like that. Alright, so that's basically the whole song, except for the solo, which I guess we'll get into. So we're going to be starting up here. So this is hammering on, doing a classic, that kind of thing. 14 of the A to 16. And then 14 of the D. And then we end that phrase with the 16 of the A. And then we do the exact same thing on the D and G. Right? And then we kind of rake into this high note, or we use the frap, as Dean would say. Alright, so that's 16 on the high E, down to 14. And then 17 on the B, then on the E again. Ending that phrase like that. Now that's a half step bend on the 16 of the G, and then hitting the regular note on the 14th of the B, and then hitting the regular note on the 16th of the D. So, full phrase. Alright, and it kind of ends it like that. You can hit that note a couple times. And then he does this. Now that first bit, it's kind of, it's almost barely audible, not barely audible, but it's kind of hidden in there on the album version. Right? But that's in there, that little hammer on and pull off on the D. And then he does the same thing on the G, and that's a lot more pronounced. And then he does a full step bend on 17th of the B. Alright. And then he does that on the high E. And he brings it back down. And then 14 on the B. And then 16 and 14 on the G. Right? Like that. And then he does this. This is kind of, honestly, this is probably the hardest lick in the solo. Because from what I can tell, he's doing this. Alright, so that's a full step bend. Really quick full step bend. On the B, on the 17th of the B. And then he does a pre-bend. It could either be full step or half step on the 16th of the G. I've tried deciphering it, and I slowed it down, and I'm pretty sure that's what he's playing. But that's really hard to play at full speed, so I have to sort of like fudge it, honestly, when I'm playing it. Right? But yeah, it's you could also like, you could also go, you know, sliding up there, like. Right? But from what I can tell, that's what he's doing. So, all right. So, all right. So, and he hits this twice. He does this lick, this blues lick, 14 of the G, and then on the 16 of the D, and then he hit that hammer on, and then on the 16th of the D, and he kind of slides down there. And then we do this little lick. This is barring with your first finger the 14th fret of the D, G, and E and B. He's gonna kind of strum that little cluster notes. And he's going to add that little suspension on the B, and then he's going to make sure you play that G note afterwards. Right? And then he bars the same fret on the G, B, and E. And now he's going to do the same thing, except it's going to be on the E, and it's going to be on these two frets, the fret higher than you did on the B. The second fret anyway. That's what it is. So the first one is, the second one is, and then he's going to do this. So this is basically arpeggiating this. E 14, B 15, then G 16. Then he hits the B again, and then he hits, what is that, 17th of the high E, and then 15 to 14 on the B. And when he hits the 14, it's actually going to be a double stop of that and the G. So So he's going to resolve it on the 16th of the D. And then he's going to go. Alright, so you could play, I think it's playing a single note there of just the 14 on the G. And then he's going to play this for a little bit, holding that note in the 17th of the B, and then bending up full step with the 16th of the G. And you know, you can just kind of go frenzy with that. You know, as long as you just bring it back down slowly. And then he ends the solo kind of bending it slowly up. A big step and a half bend there. Starts off as a full step. So, and then he bends it up to the minor third. So, keep bending up to that. Alright, so. Alright. That's pretty much it. Great song. I'm glad I sort of rediscovered it. Thank you for this suggestion. I'll put the name of the commenter who suggested it in the description below. Have a great day.